A man reproduces himself through his child, so when he leave here, he can just smile. But I see fit to stay here a while, maybe buy a timeshare somewhere, rock bumwear, beach chair, write a book each year. You can write yourself out of your blessings, wreck your Lambo the first stages by driving too reckless. Time is too precious, these some obvious lessons. Please remind me to watch my step while I balance on edges, ski on the slopes of life, slide down the Ave at night, watching them graphing graffiti on walls, that's the sight. Cars from Germany, I be pushing the fastest type. Looking at real estate, brother, I need the asking price. Imagine another rapper making me perspire. I got more styles and more flows, plus I'm much flyer. I got more heights to reach, but I'm already higher. I'm already on to the next thing. Peace and bless, King.
What is going on? What is going on, people? It is your real estate consultant here in Northern Palm Beach County, Michael Seville. I need an applause. I need to get the buttons for the applause. This is what it takes when we talk about real estate. We talk about mindset. We talk about business in general. Guys, real quick for housekeeping, like, subscribe, share. Please, it helps. It definitely is like oxygen to allow me to continue doing this. I love, you know what? This is about consistency. And I want to say maybe for the past 2 or 3 weeks, like I haven't really wanted to do this, like for the last 3-4 weeks. It takes time, it takes energy, but I'm sticking with it. This is what it takes. Even when you don't want to do it, you do it. Guys, and this is popping up every Monday. I've been doing it in the afternoon. Sometimes I'm doing it in the evenings. When I drop it, actually, I've been actually doing it in the mornings. So I appreciate you all sticking with me. Guys, also remember Wednesdays. And I said guys a lot. Wednesdays, you have my brother Joel with It Starts With Me. He drops a new episode at 12:30 every Wednesdays. Go check him out. Fridays, Community Beacon. Go check that out. That drops every Friday at 6:30. This month, we are talking about communication skills. Fire episodes. I know we have one more episode to film for this month, and probably we'll film it for like this month and next month as well. It's been really good. And I also have some things to add in addition to what we've already went over, which has been jam-packed, filled with content. And then, of course, we have the male perspective, which I'm recording every Tuesdays. So someone needs to go talk to Beethoven and tell him to drop those episodes. I know it can be long and arduous journey doing the editing. I'm not huge on editing myself, but I know Beethoven is. And he's a perfectionist. Yeah, but we have to get past that. He has there's so much good content that I know he has, that I have, that a lot of people have, and you're not dropping. You have to drop it. I know our minds is talking to us, but it is what it is, man. Drop that male perspective content. You can go check out Male Perspective over there on Male Perspective, the YouTube channel. And I did this real quickly. It already popped up. I was trying to queue it up, but this is the real estate news, and then I'll get up out of here so you all can enjoy the rest of your evening and nights. And of course, you have any questions, we can talk about it. I thought this was an interesting article simply because with everything that's going on in Florida, taxes going up, inflation is happening, right? And then, of course, insurance. If you own a property, your insurance is going up, or you're getting canceled, etc. I thought it'd be interesting. People who just bought homes, and I know a lot of people who tend to listen to me, who tend to watch me, are into this house hacking thing, where you're able to rent out part of your house, use it as for nurses, Airbnbs, part-time renters, etc. I wanted to bring your attention to this, which I thought was interesting. So this we'll talk about it after I read this. Okay, so it says no full homestead exemption for partial rentals. It says that Florida's Supreme Court rejected the lower court's decision ruling that homeowners who rent out rooms within their properties may lose part of their homestead exemption. It said it ruled that homeowners who rent out rooms. Okay, so they rejected this decision from the lower court. And so let's read it. It says, rejecting the lower court's decision, the Florida Supreme Court on Thursday said that a Sarasota man should not have received the homestead property tax exemption for part of his house that he rented out. The Supreme Court unanimously sided with Sarasota County property appraiser Bill First, who in 2014 investigated if he's still the county appraiser, investigated whether that Rod, I'm gonna butcher his name, Rebholz, should have been receiving a homestead exemption on what was described as a single-family home. First determined that 15% of the property, look at this guy, was not entitled to a homestead exemption. I sound real biased because it was being rented to a tenant. That resulted in Rebholz facing $7,000. Imagine just someone telling you owe me $7,000 in back taxes. They just came out and said that you got to pay this in interest for the tax years of 2004 to 2013. So they went back from 2004 to 2013. They went back 9 years. That's worse than the feds. From my understanding, the feds only go back 7 years. They went back 6, 7, 8, 9 years. Rebholz, who lived in part of the house and initially applied for a homestead exemption in '96, challenged the decision, touching off years of legal battling. A circuit judge and the panel of the Second District Court ruled against the property appraiser. Okay, leave it at that. But the Supreme Court on Thursday said the property was. So I'm wondering if does the property appraiser, he must have really pissed this guy off. I mean, but still, like, who's going back to determine this stuff? Hopefully it tells us. Rebholz in the district court would allow property structure and labels used to describe her to dictate the application of the blah, blah, blah. The result would be to make arbitrary distinction between functionally similar homeowners and properties without any constitutional or statutory basis. So basically, they're saying if you rent your property out, if you have a formal rental, and I'm assuming it had to be a formal rental, because like who told? With all the families that have people living in their homes and contributing, that's what you need to have them do, contribute to the mortgage, right? Do not have a formal rental. Eunice wrote that Rebholz lived on the bottom floor, which consisted of a kitchen, living area, and a bathroom. The upper floor had a common laundry area and 4 individual rooms, each with its own living room and bathroom. Some of the rooms had a kitchenette. Each room was, that sounds to me like, I mean, did the, I'm assuming that all this stuff was permitted. So did they permit this stuff? Each room was lockable from the outside. The front door, he was running like a whole rooming facility. The front door entrance probably had 2 doorbells, one for the bottom floor and the other for the top. He had 2. He turned his single family residence into a multi-use property. First determination that 15% of the property should not receive a homestead exemption was based on the tenant John Michael Beaumont. Okay, so here we go. Who rented one of the upstairs rooms from '96 through the tax years in the dispute, according to Thursday's ruling. The part of the structure that Rebholz rented to Beaumont throughout isn't this? You gotta love real estate. It's just so, well, to me it is interesting. Throughout the tax years at issue, the 15% that the property appraiser has designated a non-homestead property. Did Rebholz use that property as residence? Surely not. The record leaves no doubt that Rebholz gave exclusive use of that portion to Beaumont, subject to Beaumont's compliance with the terms of their rental agreement. There you go. That's that rental agreement that came out. How did they find out, though? How did they find Beaumont? Based upon and let me see if it says it. If not, I'm going to end it here. Home permit, protection by the Constitution, any interpretation contrary, blah, blah, blah. But Muniz on Thursday disputed that the Supreme Court opinion would affect people who work at home. Oh, interesting. Because if you're using your home as part of your home as an office, the phrase working from home speaks to activity occurring within property already found to be the owner's residence. This case is about defining the scope of the residence on the first instance. Okay, so initially, here Rebholz gave a tenant exclusive use of the property, reserving to himself only the access of the landlord. That portion of the property was not Rebholz's residence. A footnote in opinion said Rebholz died in 2015 and that the case continued with the trustee of a revocable trust as the plaintiff. This is the state attempting to do a precedent, because if the lower courts already, I mean, I'm not a lawyer or anything, but this is attempting to put a precedent. This guy died in 2015. We just got this ruling in June of 2020. Which means that they continued on after this guy even died. So this was about establishing a precedent. And in my eyes, if you're a lawyer or something, please chime in. This is crazy. I think this is one of those things where, hey guys, this is one of those things where you have to be very careful about who you vote into office. And while they're in office, you need to apply pressure. Like anyone who's a homeowner who has family there, who wants to just put together something for a family member that's just saying, okay, this, and that, which is essentially a formal rental agreement for family members that stand there saying you owe me X amount of money. Now they may say that if the person stays an X amount of time that you're not able to get your exemption. This guy's estate has to pay, which they probably, like, I don't know, maybe do they still live in the home? Like, who knows? But they're essentially saying that the state needs $7,000 out of this person's what is it called? Probate. And now here's my question too, is that did this make the probate be extended for another 5 years until this was done? Because if they couldn't essentially lawyer, whatever the terms are in regards to the probate, they couldn't finish it, then did they have to wait? And now after they waited, like, what happens? Was someone still paying taxes on the property? Like, what happened? That's for someone else to know. Guys, pay attention to who you vote into office. I'm huge on homeowners, especially, people who buy in the community. I feel like they're vested in the community. You need to know exactly what's going on, because I'm not exactly sure why they would do this to homeowners. It's not even an investor. It's not like this. And even investments, you don't get the homestead, right? So if you homestead a property. Other than that, guys, listen, I'm going to end on that note. I appreciate you all for checking in with me. I will see you next week. Peace.
A man reproduces himself through his child, so when he leave here, he can just smile. But I see fit to stay here a while, maybe buy a timeshare somewhere, rock bumwear, beach chair, write a book each year. You can write yourself out of your blessings, wreck your Lambo the first stages by driving too reckless. Time is too precious, these some obvious lessons. Please remind me to watch my step while I balance on edges, ski on the slopes of life, slide down the Ave at night, watching them graphing graffiti on walls, that's the sight. Cars from Germany, I be pushing the fastest type. Looking at real estate, brother, I need to ask it price. Imagine another rapper making me perspire. I got more styles and more flows, plus I'm much flyer. I got more heights to reach, but I'm already higher. I'm already on to the next thing. Peace and bless, King.